Welcome to another episode of Music Therapy. I am your resident mental health therapist, John Thune, and today we are listening to another Renegade song, What Does Your Love Look Like by Token and REN. If you would please leave the next song you want to see me react to in the comments below, I would so appreciate it, and let's get right into the song.
I'm not right for you, but I'm just what I should be. You try to change me, I try to change you. We never change, do we? What does your love look like? 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 As much as I do want to love you, I feel like we're speaking two different languages. Your house had a gate and mine had instigated, so that's the...
Oh, that wordplay. Your house had a gate, mine had instigated. Love that.
Do want to love you, I feel like we're speaking two different languages. Your house had a gate and mine had instigated, so that's the environment we feel safer. And you thought it was crazy how long that it took me to tell you I love you, like that was the weirdest. I only heard that say...
Wow, so already we're seeing patterns related to his past and his partner's past, where she has walls up and he conflates love with aggression. And so we're seeing these different patterns, and we all have different meanings of what love is based on our parents, based on our past relationships. And it's so important to make love maps with your partner and figure out like what you guys enjoy doing together and apart.
For when you thought it was crazy how long that it took me to tell you I love you, like that was the weirdest. I only heard dad say I love you with mom in the room when he went back to singing his lyrics, so how could you...
I love, he's digging into his parents, his past here. Love it. Yeah, so let's...
I only heard dad say I love you with mom in the room when he went back to singing his lyrics, so...
Wow, so he only got it modeled to him when his mom was in the room. But outside of that, it sounds like it wasn't totally there.
How could you blame me, cause you always choose to? You always choose to. You wanna know where I be at all the time, but that's not what I'm used to. Not what I'm used to. You knew where your dad was at work or he's home when he's taking the load off. I didn't know where until 1:24 the day I got that phone call. And I let the phone drop. I'm trying to be my best to be a gentleman. I'm trying to learn, I never...
Wow, so he's trying to unlearn his past patterns to be there for his partner. And that's hard because we all have things that are instilled in us based on our past experiences. And when someone else, when you love, is trying to change you, it just gets completely altered to the point where your love has to change. And you have to change the meaning of what love is to you.
If I had to change, I still look to my manager, but he gon' teach me how to be a rapper before a good man. I grew up afraid to find a letter, I'm trying to be my best until 124.
So it seems like here that his dad passed away here.
Or the day I got that phone call, and I let the phone drop. I'm trying to be my best to be a gentleman, I'm trying to...
Wow, that must be hard. Right? He gets that phone call, the phone drops because of whatever happened. He lost his dad. His dad's MIA now, not coming back. That's just heartbreaking to hear at any age, but especially as a child.
Learn, I never had to change, I still look to my manager, but he gon' teach me how to be a rapper before a good man. I grew up afraid to find a letter on mama's dresser telling us goodbye. I'm used to it all, so you don't gotta hold back and cry, but I gotta tell you why I'm not right for you.
Yeah, he has this fear of abandonment, and it's warranted when his dad isn't coming back for whatever reason. And now he's afraid his mom will leave, and then he also extends that to his partner. And if he's constantly thinking that she's going to leave, he might end up actually pushing her away. In clinical words, anxious attachments can lead to avoidant people, especially intimately. If you're chronically asking them how they're doing, you want to know everything about them. It leads to people cheating and avoiding you at all costs.
But I'm just what I should be. You try to change me, I try to change you. We never change, do we? What does your love look like? What does your love look like?
Yeah, that's great. I try to change you, you try to change me. No one changes in the end because love is a compromise. It needs to happen on both parties. And if it doesn't, you can't change the other person and mold them to be however you want. You have to change in tandem with them.
What does your love look like? What does your love look like?
I'm not right for you, but I won't get up and leave. Cause I hate the pain that is colour my veins, that is present in solitary. What does your love look like? Does it look black and white? Is it your kryptonite? Do all your demons get louder at night and the voices get softened when we're intertwined? I've been going to therapy lately, cause the cause and effect made me hate the way that I feel when the loving gets real, cause I just wanna run and escape the pressure that paints me, pressure of safety, pressures of promises that turn to maybes, pressure of bravely moving in the same direction, the pressure been driving me crazy.
Whoo, he just changes tone with every bar. Let's listen to this again.
It gets real cause I just wanna run and escape the pressure that paints me, pressure of safety, pressures of promises that turn to maybes, pressure of bravely moving in the same direction, the pressure been driving me crazy. So my therapist said that these wounds that I kept were created when I was a kid. And just like that, all my thoughts raced back to a Welsh town, 96. My mother was crying, my father was screaming and shouting, denying the sin of deceiving and cheating and lying. The weeds are uprooted, the garden is dying, but still she forgives. This cycle repeats, every night I try to sleep, hearing the screams through concrete, mothering peace, a vision of love, a lesson that fused with the cells in my blood, a lesson that taught me that love ain't enough and that love can be porcelain when times get tough. Flash forward 5 years later, sitting in the passenger seat of my dad's car with my maker. My dad looked shaken, turned to face him, the words that he spoke cut throat like razor. He said, Ren, sometimes love can be complicated, navigating a world that we co-created. And I've made mistakes, but I will love you daily. And just
oh, that's wholesome there. That his dad admits that, hey, I haven't always been the best dad, but because love is complicated, arguing with your mom in front of you wasn't the best move, but I still love you unconditionally. And that's what kids need, is that unconditional parent figure to love them and be there for them. And it is tricky. It is so tricky.
Be complicated, navigating a world that we co-created. And I've made mistakes, but I will love you daily. And just like that, it's just me, my mum and my sis. The stress left mum disabled for a bit. I grew up fast then, cause I gotta be a new REN, strong for my sister.
Wow, so he is being the man of the house at this point, where, you know, his dad ain't there, so he's gotta really show up in that paternal capacity and be there and provide and make music and do what he's passionate about. And stress can absolutely level people. We know cortisol can rise. There's something called toxic stress level, which is, imagine your cortisol is like this, but it goes up and up and you draw a line through the peaks. That's toxic stress, and it's so hard to live with.
It's left mum disabled for a bit. I grew up fast then, cause I gotta be a new REN, strong for my sister, my mum at a loose end.
Yeah, so he didn't really have a childhood here because he had to be there in the parent capacity as a child. And it's something we call parentification, where a child has to take on and adopt adult responsibilities to the point where their childhood is really diminished as a consequence. And this is typically occurring in households that are having absent parent figures, parents in addiction, parents that are negligent. And it shows how adaptable children are, that they can take on the responsibility of like going to the grocery store, fending for themselves. And not an ideal situation, but it does show you the resiliency of the human spirit.
But moving through the confusion, my morning love feels fake like what does your love look like? Does it tear your inside? Does it keep you up at night? My brother. Does it make you feel like a fist in a windpipe? Suffocate the feeling of what love's meant to feel like. Navigating through, but I'm still not quite right. One night stand, make the pain stop one night. One more heart.
Ooh, I hear the passion and rage in his voice, and he's using sex here as a way to numb the pain, which is, there is like this loss of identity during orgasm, during sex, and that's what he's seeking out. It's kind of like, I've worked with a lot of sex addicts and people who seek out this euphoria or this orgasm to the point where it's like they just want to escape themselves because it's so painful emotionally, physically, spiritually to be in their skin that they want any release. And not just sex, it can be gambling or drugs or any addictive behavior.
Keep you up at night. My brother. Does it make you feel like a fist in a windpipe? Suffocate the feeling of what love's meant to feel like. Navigating through, but I'm still not quite right. One night stand, make the pain stop one night. One more heart to the blade of my cold night. What does your love look like?
You realize how hard that I work and you told me you feel for me. If I lost all my motivation tomorrow, would you still love me? It's easy to love when I'm up, when I'm down, are you leaving? You can't even give me an answer cause you never seen it, and that's why it's hard to believe it. If you needed help but I'm too far away, is it over for you? Maybe I'm just not the person for you, even though I still could be the soul for you. Maybe we are meant to be together, but our history got in the way. Your trust issues, my fear issues, too many issues at play. You yell.
Yep. So this is what we were talking about earlier in the video. His partner seems like she's not totally trusting with where he is because he's not used to telling people he loves where he's at, what he's doing all the time. So he feels like it's an invasion of privacy. But really, for this relationship to work, they're going to have to find some middle ground here. He's going to have to let her in to some degree and let go of the past patterns. Because if you don't let go of those past patterns, you'll always be controlled and confined by them. And growth is so important. There's a great saying, if they can't grow with you, they can't go with you. And that is something I try to live by, that growth is the biggest predictor of the success in a relationship. You have to be growing, whether it's physically, getting physically stronger, getting more emotionally mature, getting, career advancements. There are so many ways to grow with people. And if we stay stagnant, that leads to complacency. Complacency leads to addiction or, all of these problems down the line.
Your trust issues, my fear issues, too many issues at play. You yell fast, I get quiet, you wanna see more passion. I've seen what real yelling can lead to, so no, I don't have it.
Wow. So he doesn't want to repeat the past traumas he's seen where those parents are feuding in front of him. It gets violent, emotionally abusive, and good for him. We know that victims of trauma, victims of seeing their parents emotionally abuse each other are more likely to commit it. But there are some, like Token here, who say, nope, I'm good. I don't want to repeat this. I want to learn from that experience and how much it haunted me and never give my kids or my partner that emotional abuse.
I grew up afraid to see holes in a wall in a room that was locked from inside. I promise I'm used to...
Wow. Afraid to see holes in the wall from a room that was locked inside. So he's punching holes in the wall because he is so frustrated, so emotionally pent up that's his one escape. And it is hard to be by yourself in a room because you're forced to deal with yourself and forced to deal with those emotions. It's so easy to distract ourselves with technology, with instant gratification, with eating, with shopping, with, it's incessant and limitless in this world. But that is such an image here, that he is a little unhinged, a little unstable.
Do it all. You don't gotta have holes in a wall in a room that was locked from inside. I promise I'm used to it all. You don't gotta ever hold back and cry, but I gotta tell you why. I'm not right for you, but I'm just what I should be. You try to change me, I try to change you. We never change, do we?
Oh wow, it's a letter that he's written to her. Oh, this is so powerful. And yeah, this almost seems like a breakup at this point. He's saying, I'm not right for you, but I'm exactly who I should be. And eventually, I'll find the right person for me. And there's no shame in breaking up with people and setting boundaries in intimate relationships. Because if you never get rid of the wrong partner and the wrong wife or husband, you'll never find the right husband or wife. And that's amazing to think about, that we have a limited time and that we need to use it mindfully.
What I should be. You try to change me, I try to change you. We never change, do we? What does your love look like? What does your love look like? What does your love look like? What does your love look like?
Whew. I love the open-ended chorus of this song. In therapy, we're trained to ask open-ended questions and not ask confining, closed-ended questions like, tell me why you're so depressed all the time. We were trained to ask, help me understand your depression, or what does your depression look like? And what that does is it allows people to be more real with you. Because if you ask closed-ended questions all the time, you're just going to get a reflection of those questions. Like lawyers, for instance, they'll ask closed-ended questions in court to manipulate people to get to say what they want them to say. So when you ask open-ended question, the world of possibilities becomes real, and people are more authentic and more genuine because they don't feel like you're putting them into a box. You're being open. And that's such a great life lesson for me in helping to understand people, because people are so dang interesting. Like Token and Ren, what does your love look like? Drop it in the comments. I am so glad you're here. Thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next music therapy episode.